Today on episode 70, our Joe Madden episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the Pro Sports Return, UFC 249, the 1,100-pound deadlift, the Monday Night Football Crew mix-up, What You Watchin', our local food spotlight, and the TCF Top 3 of Sitcom Family. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 70 of Typical Chicago Fans, our Joe Madden episode. It is me, your boy Boomy, at BoomyTCF on Twitter. Make sure to follow the main page at Typical_Chicago. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans in the search bar. You can find us all there. Head on over to the YouTube page and subscribe. I just got done organizing all the videos, and I think we're up to over like 200 videos on there. So everything we do, all the content we do is up on our YouTube. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out to our producer, Joe, who does all of our artwork. We'll be getting some new artwork up on the YouTube page as well. For all of our podcasts, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review there. If you leave us a 5-star review, you can roast me as much as you want. I don't care. I've got thick skin. Fire away. If you're a Spotify user, feel free to follow us on there. If you got both, knock them both out. Give us a subscribe, rate, and review, and a follow on there. Thank you to our sponsored Lodi Tap House. They are located in Utica and Maple Park. If you are going to the Maple Park location, you can get a growler or a crowler with beer and anything they have on tap. You can get to go with your meal. Delicious.
Boomy.
What's
also,
up,
today, my mother went and she got some it's called Small Cakes Peach. And it's I think it's an IPA or a beer.
Yep. Sounds fantastic.
That does sound good.
7.5% alcohol. There's a
sounds even better.
Milkshake double pale. I don't know, but boys, I'm going to do a little taste test here. Shout out to it says in collaboration
are we getting a live taste test?
Oh, we're getting a live taste test.
Oh, baby.
In collaboration with shout out Small Cakes, a cupcakery in Aurora. It's what they're collab with, and then it's brewed out of.
It's fantastic too. Small Cakes is awesome.
Ooh.
Have you guys ever heard of Church Street in? I always get this.
Itasca.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, I got you.
That is where it is brewed and packaged. So shout out
Very
to
nice.
Small Cakes in Aurora and Church Street in Itasca. But let's do this here, boys. It's a late night. We're recording late night Saturday. 7.5% alcohol. So let's see here. I'm gonna give it a sniff first. Let's see what it's about. Peachy. Here we go.
Beer sommelier over here. Got to swish it around in your mouth.
Not bad. Not a fan of the IPA. Oh.
You don't know what you're missing, man.
It's thick. That's thick. Whoa. I'll give it like a... I would have to give it like a 2.9. I'll give it a 2.9.
Yeah, you've never been a big IPA guy, so that doesn't surprise me very much.
No,
but if you want delicious beers like the one Zach is tasting, and some locally sourced beers, when you order your Lodi Tap House in Utica or Maple Park, you can get a growler or a crowler full of beer to go with your food. I know I'm going to be heading to Utica this week. They have the fully elote burger as their burger of the month. It's like the Mexican street corn on top of their delicious smash burgers. So I will definitely be hitting that up. Thank you to them. And actually, at the day this podcast comes out, me and Zach will be heading to Utica for the small business drive-through. We went last week. Couldn't, say enough about it. It was amazing. So we're going back this week. We're definitely going to be getting a smash burger and plenty of cupcakes and all that other good stuff down there. So if you are listening to this podcast and still have time to get over to Utica, head on over to the small business drive-through located in Utica. Again, thank you to Lodi Tap House. Their delicious food, their delicious beer, their delicious appetizers. You can't go wrong.
And
get everything.
They do it.
You got money. You're not spending money on other stuff, so spend all your money at Lodi Tap House. Get all the burgers, all the appetizers. Get everything you can.
Solid
and pretty much. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty much
T-shirts.
until further notice. They're going to be doing it every weekend until, I guess like the restaurants and stuff show up, open back up.
It's awesome.
Keep an eye out for that.
It's
In Utica, that little strip mall there. Like I said, the Utica Small Business Drive-Thru.
Absolutely. Well, boys, let's jump right into it as we always start, sinkers and floaters. I'll start with my sinker, and my sinker is the Chicago Art Institute, and that is because it's a great museum from everything I've heard. I've never been there. I will preface that. I've obviously seen pictures. Art museums are not my thing, but everything I've read, it's an amazing museum and everything. And unfortunately, some jerk, when they put the giant face mask, the Chicago-style face mask on the big lions outside, some dickhead jumped out of his car and stole one and got away. So I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, that's why we can't have nice things. Just don't be a jerk. But I feel bad for the Art Institute. I mean, if you see the face, obviously it's just to kind of make a little bit of light of what's going on in the world. And some people just have to ruin everything. So unfortunately for the Art Institute, there's bad people out there, but hopefully we can get that rectified.
Yeah, hopefully we can fix that because that's actually unbelievable.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's the museum that, like, when the Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup, they put the Blackhawks helmets on. I think they put Cubs hats on the Lions. Like, those are famous statues. Like, just leave them alone, guys. Like, what are we doing here?
Whenever you get like a Chicago montage, like before a game, or before like a playoff series, they always show them. Like the hype videos.
Just show
always
respect.
show them.
Just be respectful.
Yeah, for sure.
My sinker, I'm gonna have to go with it. I don't know if anyone has used it yet. The murder hornets. Like, what are we doing? What are these things?
Murder hornets.
What?
I'm afraid of no murder hornets. I got a tennis racket around the house. I'm taking them out.
Have you seen these
I'm gonna be
things?
Andy Roddick out in the front yard, just swatting murder hornets.
Now I kind of hope they get you, dude. Like, you're being cocky
bring
about
them
this.
on. I'm calling them out.
Gosh,
they're gonna pick you up and carry you away, dude.
Yeah, hope they do. Because those things are they strike fear into me because
they look like small airplanes.
Yes, like.
Did you guys watch the video of that guy? I don't know where he's from, but like he does videos on, like, he goes and finds like the most dangerous like stings and stuff and like lets them sting him, and he let one of those things sting him.
Apparently there's like 2 other insects that have actually like more deadly power, or like the hornet variety. Like this is the number 3 on the power rankings, I guess, of hornets. So there's a couple other deadlier breeds out there too.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't live in the parts of the world where they're at.
I think we do.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the murder hornet, but it's not native here. It's
here.
Yeah, it's
not
infesting
yet.
Our country now.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Japanese beetles, those little yellow beetles that fly around.
I'm scared.
I think these things are like cicadas too. Like they come in waves or something, don't they?
That's insane.
Yeah, they kind of. From what I understand, like obviously, like if they bite or if they sting you, there's a possibility they can kill you. But like, I guess what the really big issue is like the havoc that they wreak on like local bee populations.
Right.
So that's kind of, and obviously everybody's seen all this stuff with like, the declining bee population in the world. So that's not
raw
good.
Organic honey is outstanding.
Yeah, my father-in-law, I got to give him a shout out. He has like, I don't even know he's a beekeeper, I guess is the correct term. He's got the hives and everything, and he makes his own honey, and I don't know if I could eat anything else.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so fire. Matt, what is your sinker this week?
What was my sinker last week? It was the fucking birds.
My
sinker this week is the fucking birds. They're back. And this time is in a different vent. Last week, I worked on the dryer vent. And I put this bird cage covering around it. Everything was fine, but the dryer still wasn't it was taking forever to get a load dried up. So I'm like, there's got to be material from the nest in the vent. So I fucking disconnect the hose. Holy shit, dude. You would not believe how much bird nest material was stuffed in this dryer vent, dude. It was unbelievable. So I get this all cleared out. Everything's fine. All of a sudden, another day or two goes by, and I hear flapping again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So now, it's not the dryer vent. Now they've started building a nest in the exhaust vent for my oven in the microwave,
Oh my
which is a
god!
wider one. So I go out there and I
gosh.
sent you guys the pictures of the deck, all that material that was building up on the deck. That was every time I turned the exhaust fan on,
It's
that stuff
shooting
would
out.
come flying out. Yeah, so I had to clear what was already packed in there. Got that all cleared out today. Got the mesh. I had bought some like chicken wire basically that I had in my garage from like a year or two ago. Cut that up, hung it up, and got it all formed in the frame of it. So blocking those out there. Look over on the rail and it's just covered in bird shit. So the deck I just power washed last week. Just power washed the whole deck. Everything looked great. Had to do that whole
Birds
area
are the
again.
worst. Birds are the worst.
Dude. And so I finally get this all cleaned up, get this hung up. I go out and pick up dinner, come home, and as I'm walking in the garage, I look at my snowblower. My snowblower is all the way in the back, as far away from the garage door as possible, in the corner. And there's a blob of bird shit on my snowblower. So now it's like they know, dude. They know what I'm doing. They're trying to get me. They're trying to get me any possible way that they can, and I can't do this anymore, dude. These birds are driving me nuts.
So they're building a nest like where the dryer exhaust like steam comes out of your house.
The vent hose.
No shit.
I had a bird that are making a
It was
nest
all
in
packed
my
to
hood.
that flexible hose, that took hooked to the back of your dryer. I had to disconnect there. It was all packed into that thing.
I have a bird making a nest in my hood, and every morning it pops out and scares the shit out of me every day.
They're horrible, dude.
I hate
They're
birds.
horrible. I got rabbits everywhere too in our backyard. They're just as bad.
Matt, what does the homeowners association say about like bird shot and shotguns? Because you need one.
I think they're against it, but
it's easier to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't catch you, then what can they do?
That's valid point.
These birds, they need to be taught a lesson.
Yeah, man, I'm having an issue. I've got like ground squirrels that are just wrecking. I mean, there's holes. I've rolled ankles in my yard from these ground squirrels to the point I'm just taking a shotgun outside and just waiting for them to pop up.
Spackler from Caddyshack right there, dude. You're
going
to start blowing them out of your yard.
I tried to flush them out once, and all I did was flood my backyard.
Yeah.
Dude, those animals like that, man, they're the biggest pests in the world.
Yep. And there's little you can do about it.
No, they're all little assholes, too. They don't do anything good.
They
provide nothing. They're of no benefit to like the ecosystem, except for the food chain. They feed the coyotes in the area, basically. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, that's what we need is more coyotes running around here.
Right. Great.
Kill all the dogs around here.
Yeah.
Sorry
about my long-winded sinker, but
that was
birds.
That was very relatable because, like I said, I think last week I had the same kind of thing where I had just power washed my deck like 2 weeks ago, and I had a bird make a nest.
And when you power wash like anything, it's like, God damn it! Everything looks so good. You're like jacked. It's like for like 2 weeks, everything's clean, and it took like 4 days.
Yeah, like you fucker. So. And sticking kind of like the outside, my sinker is going to be myself and my dad, and I kind of feel bad because I bought a shed from Costco, and it's an 8x10 shed, and it said the floors included. It came with all this stuff when you're looking at sheds, this and that, and I'm like, sweet, okay, it'll come and we'll put it together, and we'll have good father-son project. And so it comes in the other day, and then we get the instructions out, and like the first page is like, either you have to pour a pad of concrete, which I don't have, or you have to build a wooden frame, like a wooden base for the shed. I'm like, well, fuck. Yeah. Like, where was some on the internet where I would have saved a couple $100 more before I ordered this damn thing? So now we have to go to Menards or Home Depot and buy a bunch of wood Monday and build the fucking base for it, and it's just going to be like what was going to be like a smooth sailing-ish project just turned into a clusterfuck in a matter of 5 minutes. So
that'll happen. That will happen.
Oh yeah, it's
nothing you can do.
No, hey, you know what? We're all in, so we're just gonna have to deal with it.
All you got is time right now.
Oh, yeah.
I have a secondary sinker if I could throw it in here.
Toss it in there.
All right. And it's the tiling world because Zach now has a ring light and he's going to become an Instagram model and he won't be able to do his tiling job anymore.
Yeah.
So
I know. Look at this. I mean,
the
I've never looked
tiling
more
world is
beautiful in my life.
in trouble.
I was gonna have some tiling done in my yard, but I better call somebody else. I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going to be an
What's
IT
here?
model in 6 months.
Oh, yeah. This thing made me. I couldn't believe how beautiful I looked.
Yeah,
That's one way
Kind
to
of-
put it, that's for sure.
Kind of unbelievable. That's all it took.
All right. Let's jump into the good things going on in the world other than Zach getting a ring light and being the most beautiful version of himself. I'll start off, and mine is this human urine. And that's because everybody, it gets a bad rap, but scientists,
As it should. Yeah.
as it should, but
What?
this is why it's a floater, is because scientists in Berlin at the European Space Agency believe that human urine could maybe one day become a useful ingredient in making concrete on the moon. I have no idea.
I have seen that.
a lot.
I heard something about that.
Yep.
I mean, who would
there's-
make that obvious connection?
Elon Musk.
I mean, this sounds like a perfect job for me because I drink a gallon of water a day and I pee probably like 8 to 10 times. This sounds like a great job for a guy
you have
like
your
me.
own concrete factory, and you wouldn't.
Yeah, I could be the richest guy on the moon at some point.
You could live on it.
Exactly. But you know, it like you said, it justifiably gets a bad rap. But who knows? You know, it's
I think it gets
possibly
the
used as a
right
building material.
amount of like pushback on it. It's pee, and no. And you literally took a floater and you took the little sinker. Like the sound is the toilet flushing pee.
That's true.
Yeah, it's literally not a floater.
More of a combination, like a
Yeah, my
mixture.
floater is being a car guy. I am not a car guy. I'm having some trouble. I'm just having like, I don't know, like I have some like weird sounds on my truck when I like hit the brake and stuff like that. And,
It's that bird.
or like you turn or something like that. And like the guy at work was just like, oh, yep, that's your power steering. I'm like, okay, look, power steering
you know
fluid
that?
low. I'm like, how did you know? I wish, like, I walked into the car shop, I guess you'd say. Body shop. There we go. I can't figure the
You're
name out.
definitely not a car guy.
And I walk in, and I'm like, I don't know anything in here. I don't know anything in here. Like, I don't know like what kind of oil I really need. Like, I always have to ask my dad or my grandpa or something. Like,
I
I'm not
can
a car
change
guy.
a tire and jump a car battery. Other than that, and fluids I'm pretty good with. But other than that, I'm useless.
Like,
Yeah,
you
I wish-
stick me in a
I
body
wish.
shop and tell me that you'll give me $1 million to fix X on a car. I couldn't fucking do it. No way.
It's something I'm not proud of.
It's intimidating.
It is very intimidating.
Wish I knew more.
It's a
Wish
heck
I
of
knew
a
more.
skill. Heck of a skill.
I guess I could figure it out. Maybe that's a new series we could do. Zach becomes a car guy.
Oh.
We'll build a TCF
Zach,
car.
I don't know if our insurance will cover the accidents that you may get into.
No, we're just building it. We're gonna build a TCF car.
I am not writing in that.
No, we'll demo derby it too. Then we get
no.
trash it out.
No. It should be nice. We're not putting in no demo derby.
There's not enough money out there to get
I'm
me
not the
running.
only person that's gonna be putting this together. We're gonna have help. All right, Matt, what's yours?
Mine is it's video marketers on social media, and
Yeah,
you know those videos like on Facebook that like the suggested views or whatever. They hit
They
a
know
home
what
run
you-
almost.
they
They
know
hit a
what
home
you're
run almost every time, and every time it's like it gives you the option of continue to watch or continue on watch or whatever that watch app that they use to stream videos or whatever. Dude, I'm such a sucker. I hit that fucking button like every time, and I want to see how. Like the other day, I was watching this guy make gold-plated earbuds, Apple AirPods. I mean,
I get deep in those rabbit holes.
So it was like just straight up. It was like a fast-paced, like 3-minute video, the whole process, start to finish, on how to make them, and it was so like I don't know, just like a
I watched him make
trap.
ice cream rolls with a monster.
Or those food ones, yeah, the recipes where it's like a 30 or like a 90-second recipe, and all they're doing is just
throwing
dumping
stuff in.
Yeah, those I could watch those for
Dude,
hours.
I get on those, the recipe ones. I've actually made a bunch of shit from those. Like, I'll watch any food-related content all day on Facebook.
Yeah,
No, all day.
it's
I
such a
literally
mind trap.
subscribe to the Tasty YouTube page just for those videos.
That might just mean my brain is mush, and that my brain is the sinker actually too. So
Well, ours kind of all ours.
could be that too. So
And like the amazing, like, and there you can tell they're like made from like China or India because the English is just like, it's like amazing video, cool happens, and then like it's like people do it like throwing bricks onto their head and like stacking.
I don't know.
Them, like,
Somebody was showing how to make this breakfast sandwich where it was like fucking all eggs on the bottom, and they just throw like 2 pieces of toast.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like folding the eggs and they're throwing all kinds of other shit in there, and all of a sudden they fold it right one way, and it's just like this perfect breakfast sandwich. Somehow the bread is on both sides correctly. It's just, I don't know. I could watch that stupid shit all day right now.
But that would never happen if we tried to do it, though.
Yeah, never.
No.
I'd set the kitchen on fire trying to do shit like that.
Well, grease fire at the school field household. Yeah.
No kidding.
Speaking of grease fires, my floater is
oh boy.
No, my floater is my grill because that thing's been getting a workout lately. It's been grilling season over at my house, so it's been
nothing wrong
nice to get outside, throw some stuff on the grill, and just.
I grilled out last Friday, and I'm still eating because I just went crazy. I hadn't grilled out in like 2 weeks, so I just grilled like everything in my freezer, and now I have like 20 hamburgers and.
Yeah, you grilled an insane amount of food.
Yeah, my sister asked me if I was, cooking for an army of 12 people, but it was just me and the wife, so I'm still eating that.
What are you gonna do? Nothing
exactly.
Wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
that. Do you buy like half a cow or something? Or?
Yeah, so I get a
quarter. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got plenty of it to go around. And like when we go grocery shopping, I always buy like way extra just to throw in the deep freeze. I'm like, I'll use this. I cooked a lemon pepper pork tenderloin that I'd had in the freeze, the deep freeze for probably like 2 years maybe.
Sounds yummy.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was very good. Let's jump into it, boys. That was great. Sinkers and floaters. We keep talking about, obviously, with all that's going on in the world, the possibility of sports coming back. And we're starting to see some different places around the world that are bringing back sports. We saw the return of baseball in the Korean League. I believe they're playing with no fans. And then this week will be the return of basketball in Taiwan, and they will be having fans. They're going to be the first pro league in the world.
That will be wild.
Yes, to have fans return, and then also different soccer leagues. I think it's the Bundesliga. I'm not exactly sure how that's pronounced in Germany.
Bundesliga.
There you go. And they're going to be playing games. I don't believe they're going to be having fans, but they are making some changes to their substitutions. So now I think they're allowed substitutions.
Yep.
And then just came out, I believe it was today or yesterday, the baseball proposal plan. And Zach, do you happen to have that in front of you, bud?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. The baseball plan.
Yes, I believe it's
there is a 78 game schedule, 14-team playoff, 12 games versus each division opponent, 6 games versus each team in same geographic division of opposite league.
Yep.
So that's kind of the new rumor. There's been so many different kind of rumors. But I kind of like the 78 games. It's not a bad amount of games. It's enough games to kind of know who's good and who's bad.
Half the season, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's not ideal, but
I'll take
it. I'll take whatever
right now.
Yeah, I'll take whatever.
I'll take 78 before I'll take 0. And I think that's a good point, though. Like, obviously, it's not ideal, like Zach said. Obviously, some of us think that, 162 games is too much. But I think in the same breath, we can also agree that in a normal, regular world, 78 games is not enough. But, it's kind of one of those things where, like, we'll take what we can get. But I think with all these international leagues starting to slowly stagger back in, it at least, like, you see a light at the end of the tunnel to me. And obviously all of this in the last couple of months has been speculating, like what league's going to come back and all these different plans and all this stuff. Now we're actually seeing other countries put it in place. Now maybe there's something to learn from what these countries are doing, what to do, what not to do. So I think there's just a positivity in the fact that, like, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know about you guys.
I want to throw this one scheduling idea out just because I want to see what somebody else thought about it. But it was like, if you took something like this where they had like just kept everybody geographically in, groupings that they were playing, teams that were relatively close. And if they did like 4-game series against each team, but over 3 days where each series included a doubleheader.
Yeah.
So then, but you expand the rosters because you're cutting the games down. You allow your entire 40-man to be available. So basically, you're playing with September rules for the whole season.
Yeah.
So you've got the deeper benches and deeper bullpens. You could get away with doing double headers every few days because you've got, the reinforcements are there in your bullpen and on the bench. So it's not going to take a toll. You could get to 100 games pretty feasibly with something like that. You know what I mean?
Matt, you could do Monday, Tuesday are regular games, Wednesday's doubleheader, and then Friday, Saturday, and then or maybe Saturday's your doubleheader, and then Sunday.
You're paying guys in your 40-man anyway, so it's not like it's going to be financially any different. So have those guys play because you're already scrapping the minor leagues essentially this year anyway. It sounds
which does worry. I mean, like, what if you're a team that has
a
couple guys go down and maybe they're all at the same position? Then what do? You just go pick a kid off of your minor league roster that's been sitting at home, for 4 months or 5 months or whatever it is. That
Nico Herner in September last year. He got called up after not playing for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm just excited to hear any sort of light at the end of the tunnel of just live sports, live major sports, live sports in general. Anything that can get us back to a little bit of normalcy is I'll take it.
Definitely, I
totally
think
agree.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
Is this baseball schedule like still going off of like the 3 different divisions?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I didn't think so.
I thought it was
like
staying in the same divisions that they are.
Yeah,
currently.
but then when it says your geographic, so like the NL Central would play the AL Central.
Right.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay. I didn't know if it was like the 3 divisions,
Well, then
like
I
the
don't
West
like it
Coast,
then.
Central, East Coast thing, but I didn't know. So
it'd be like it is
short
exactly like 14
I know.
games versus
I'm out.
division.
I'm out. I've already heard the three divisions. I want that. I don't want anything else now.
I'm kind of with you. I thought that would be awesome for one year.
Yeah, give it.
Mix it up.
So one time ever we can mess with stuff. We can try and change some things. Come on, I don't want the same thing again.
No, I think the way they're and from what I understand, they want teams playing in their own parks. And obviously, like the NL Central won't be playing the NL East or the NL West or any of this, so they won't have to get on flights that are over 3 hours.
Because it wasn't the point. That wasn't the point of like doing what they're doing.
Well, now I mean, think about the farthest the Cubs are going to have to travel is Cincinnati, or I'm sorry, Pittsburgh and Kansas City. So those are 2.5 hour charter flights. So
that's what I mean.
Maybe they just go old school and bust it, dude.
Wait, we're not talking about anything different.
No, I know. I don't have a problem with it. I take this. Don't get me wrong. I agree. I think that like what you're saying is right. That how you get they kind of gave us what the coolest one is, and now they're kind of walking that back. But it's still better than nothing. So I guess I'm just trying to be optimistic about it.
But you said Kansas. Did you just say Kansas City were like a division?
Yeah, because isn't that what
the White Sox?
Yeah, because then they're saying.
It'd be like interleague. Your interleague division would be the NL or AL Central and the NL Central. The AL East would play against the AL or NL East, and the West would play against
6 game versus each team in same geographic division of opposite league. So the opposite league to the NL Central is the AL Central.
I didn't know. It didn't specifically say that there's going to change. I don't know. They just didn't specifically say that they were not going to have the 3 divisions.
Well, this is the way I'm reading this. So the 12 games versus each division opponent. So they're going to play all of the NL Central 12 times. And then they're going to play everybody in the AL Central 6 times. If that's what I'm understanding. At least that's what I'm understanding Joe Ostrowski's tweet.
Well, it doesn't really matter because it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, it's probably going to change 5 times between now and July 1st anyway.
Really, nothing that anyone has said about the 4 major sports has even come close to being possible.
Yeah, I did see Shaq came out today and said that the NBA should just scrap the season and just worry about starting.
Every time you hear a date, like, it just gets pushed back and pushed back. So why even say anything at this point?
I'm to the point now, like, I'm just expecting there to be no sports until the first of the year, and anything that we get between now and then is just added gravy.
And honestly, the more you get teased and it doesn't come true, it's like the more annoyed you get. So, like, just leave us alone until you figure out something.
Definitely.
I believe it's our luck, too, that gambling is finally legalized in Illinois just in time for sports to stop.
You know how pumped people were? Like, they were going to – we had March Madness coming up. We finally had we got, like, the sports books and everything, and then boom. No sports. No sports.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. And as of right now, as we are recording this on Saturday, what is this, May 9th? There is a UFC event going on. This is kind of the first big actual sporting event happening in the United States. But one of the men that was supposed to be fighting tonight, and I have to look up his name here. I forgot to write it down. He came down with coronavirus literally like this morning. So like, it's just one of those things. Like, I think this might be the norm. Like, I hate to say it for a while, is like when they start to get some things rolling, and then what if, we just talked about, what if a baseball player comes in and tests positive? Then do they have to shut the whole thing down? Or it's just wild to think about, that's always in the back of everybody's head as you're going forward.
Yeah. And he said it's going to be that way for a long time now. It's going to be hard to get that thought out of people's heads. Like, you're going to be like, oh, well, what if this or what if that? And you're going to have to test people all the time and just kind of figure stuff out. Like, it's just going to be weird to get back to, like, any sort of normalcy.
Right. I just think that normalcy is something we're not going to see for a very long time.
There's no normal.
That's what I mean. Like, but like, if it's not normal, like, it's just gonna be weird to watch. I think, like, if it's gonna start, like, I don't know, if the players are uncomfortable, then it's going to be weird, and I hope they don't just like force stuff back.
Yeah, I did see that. I don't know if it was like a player rep for some team, but they were saying that, like, they should make it, if MLB does come back, then they make it like an option, like a player can opt out for the season. So that'll be interesting to see how they handle all of that. But the UFC 249 is going on as we are recording this. But like you said, man, it's a return to normalcy. I do think that the UFC could have thrown a bone and given us a free pay-per-view this time.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, I was all pumped to watch it, and then I just saw it was only the prelims. I'm like, well, what? Really? Like,
it's a good way to get people like me who doesn't watch it into it.
Yeah, if it was on ESPN tonight, I would have watched.
That kind of failed.
Yeah, that was kind of bummer, because I'd have rooted like hell against Greg Hardy because he's an asshole. But anyway,
yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah, and I bet against him. I bet against him too, and he won.
Okay, so here's my.
How is he allowed to be an MMA fighter? That's unbelievable.
Well,
or
you know
UFC,
what?
I mean,
it's good for Greg Hardy that he's picking on someone his own gender, for one. So that's nice.
Hopefully, he gets his teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
I wish he would have. Dang it! I lost that. I can't believe I lost that.
He won the fight.
I mean, my first bet, like,
unfortunately,
he won the fight.
Oh, jeez.
Well, he had a lot of practice on smaller opposite sex foes. So
yeah,
he's pretty good.
Picoy. Throwing him up and hitting him to himself
out here. I love it.
Jeez Louise.
It's a good guy to take shots at. Fucking.
Yeah, definitely deserved.
Well, yeah, I mean, with all the ammunition he had in his head when he was pulling on all those guns, he had a lot of shots to fire.
I love it. Yeah, he's a horrible person. And I should get my money back, because if I bet on a horrible person against a horrible person, they win, I should still get my money.
I agree.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that should be a rule.
Hey, real quick though, and I forgot to add this into the intro, but obviously we've talked quite a bit about the Bulls getting a new management, a new executive vice president, and then a new general manager last week, and now we have no clue what is going on with the head coach.
All I have to say, no, I'm going to stop you here. If they do not fire Jim Boylan, then I am already out. I'm out. I've said this before. If you leave him out there and you see what has he done that has shown you that he deserves to be the coach again. Like it already seemed like either way he was going to be out at the end of the year. If they put trust in him and do that, like that would be unbelievable. I would already be out. I'd already be out.
Well, Zach, to your point, like I don't even know if you go that deep, it's like if it's really not going to be the Garpex show anymore and it's supposed to be the new guys, then the new guys, whatever they say goes. And they should know that Boylan's not absolutely qualified to be a head coach of the NBA, so he should go. He should go. So if Boylan's retained, then you know that there are still some behind the scenes bullshit going on where the guys that are brought in don't have the power that they need to have in order to run the organization.
It was reported, I believe, like 2 days ago that there was a good chance that Boylan was going to stay. And then today on Saturday, May 9th, it comes out that apparently the new management had met with quite a few players that are currently on the Bulls roster, and apparently they ripped Jim Boylan to them. So hopefully,
surprise, huh?
Yeah, I'm shocked.
It's one of those things that, like, just listen to your guys. Like, you've invested this money, you've invested this time. They're clearly, I mean, if they were winning games and there was, if they were like the records of the Bulls in the 90s, then that's one thing to talk about. But like Jim Boylan as a head coach is 39-84. So he's not winning. He's not winning people over. People don't want to come play for him in free agency. Then cut your losses. Let's move on. Like, just
There's
be done.
absolutely no reason for him to be the coach. Absolutely no reason.
The new management is meeting with players because I feel like that's just something that would be swept under the rug by the old regime. At least, doing.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Just do the right thing.
Yeah. Get them out. Start fresh. New management. New team. Just everything's new. Just get them out. Yep. Let's go.
Love it.
Now I gotta ask, guys, are any of you guys fans of Game of Thrones?
No.
Have not watched an episode.
Nobody is? Matt? No? Nothing?
Nope. No.
All right. Do you guys know who the Mountain is?
Yes, I've seen.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I've seen him lift weights.
Right?
Yeah. So this week, he set the world record for a deadlift, and he deadlifted 1,104 pounds.
Holy hell!
That is insane. And like this guy, I think he's like 6'9". He probably weighs like 400 pounds.
Good God, man.
1,100. When I was like,
that's absolutely unbelievable.
Weights and everything, and the most I've ever deadlifted was maybe like 600, and he almost lifted double that. And did it fairly easily. Like, it just blew my mind. And the guy whose record he broke was Eddie Hall, who is just an enormous human being. But when he broke the record, he strained so hard, he just like spontaneously started bursting blood from his nose and passed out and had to be hospitalized. This guy just did it, dropped the weight like it was nobody's business.
That's insane.
Boomy, you strike me as one of those guys that watched like the World's Strongest Man competitions on ESPN back in the day. Magnus von Magnuson.
That's one of my favorite humans.
Yeah, tossing kegs over the wall and shit.
He's just deadlifting Volvos for no reason. Like, dude, they have rubberized weights. You don't have to pick up Toyota Camrys.
You could sit in college just blackout drunk, just watch that at 3 a.m. for hours.
The 1993 World Strongman competition from South Africa.
Live from Finland.
Yes, but I just 1,100 pounds.
That's crazy. That's insane.
That's bananas.
I would love to know, and like you see all these videos, like there was a video this week of, I think it was Rodney Harrison pushing a sled with like 800 pounds or something. Like, what's the most, like, you get me the biggest professional athlete, what's the most they could deadlift? Like, could they anywhere near 1,000 pounds? Like, this dude,
there's got to be some offensive linemen that are pushing close to that.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I would think so because
like 800-900, but 1,100.
Yeah, that's insanity.
Because I saw this during like the draft the Tristan Wirfs kid from Iowa who got drafted to the Patriots, or no, the Buccaneers. Sorry, he had the Iowa the hang clean record.
Yeah,
he cleaned 454 times. I'm like, he has to be able to deadlift close to 800 pounds, I'd imagine.
right.
Wow.
That's, oh my gosh.
He cleans 454 times. That's insane.
How do your knees not just like buckle?
Uh,
Like, that's so much weight.
It's crazy.
Well, he'll know in about 20 years when he's 37 years old and can't fucking walk anymore.
Very true. Very true. I just thought it was like that's where we're at as a society. We're watching characters from Game of Thrones deadlift, a car essentially.
That's where we're at now.
But it's so cool because now it's like sparred this controversy between the guy's name is like Thor Bjornsson or something. I don't even know how to pronounce the last name, but he just goes by Thor. And the guy that he beat, Eddie Hall, now they're in a pissing match, and apparently they're going to box in a fighting match or some sort. Now, hey, if there's no sports going on, I might buy that pay-per-view to watch two men who combined weigh probably like 800 pounds.
Yeah,
just
I'm in.
duking out.
I would
just
definitely watch that.
It'd be like two Vikings back in the day, just like battling on a ship somewhere,
Well, it's like the David and Goliath story. It's just like watching Goliath versus Goliath.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like two mythical creatures doing battle.
Bigfoot fighting the Loch Ness monster.
Shit. Insane.
I'm all in on that. No, I had to throw that in. That just blows my mind. 1,104 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know if us four put together on a bar could pull that.
No, I'd be negative, so it'd be you three.
Zach, could you add much to the equation?
No.
Pigo, you've been hitting the gym.
I'm more of a flyweight kind of guy, though.
More of
a cardio lately. Just kind of
more of a cable machine kind of guy.
Yeah, I just stay. I'm in maintenance mode. That's all we do.
I love it. Let's jump into it, boys. Obviously, we're in, I don't even know, week, whatever, day, whatever of quarantine. I'm 75. Just burning through Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, Quibbit. I've got everything. So let's jump into what are you watching? I'm going to start off. I'm a big history dork. I love all conspiracy stuff. I don't believe most of the conspiracy stuff, but I love watching it. And just in about 2 days, I burned through America's Book of Secrets on Netflix. And it's like a 10-part series. They have an episode on each episode is something different. So like the first one was on the White House. The second one's on the Freemasons, different parts of America and all these like alleged secret conspiracy things behind it. I highly recommend it if that's something you're into, if you like history, like conspiracy theories. Very good show. I loved it. I burned through it really fast, but that is right up my alley. So Zach, what have you been watching?
I am rewatching The Office. And really, I don't know. It's just so hard to like get into any. I mean, there's so much to watch. Like whenever I turn on Netflix, I just get very overwhelmed. I don't know what to watch. I actually, you said about was it Quibi or whatever? I was watching the Reno 911, the new season. It's all right. But if you want to go back and watch the old episodes of that's hilarious. So the old Reno 911, those were. See,
that's just one show I never got into, and I wish I would have.
It's like hilarious.
You're great,
hilarious. But
and now I love Nick Swardson,
but he's not in the new one either.
I did hear that.
But Terry was a hilarious character.
Oh.
That was so funny.
Like when Swardson was on PMT the other day, he like talked about how he wrote Malibu's Most Wanted. I'm like, you ever remember that movie?
Oh yeah, Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm like I didn't realize he wrote that, but like that was a funny movie. It was, is what it was. But
no, I agree. And Grandma's Boy is just a classic. So, Matt, what have you been watching?
I've been on a 30 for 30 kick. A lot of partially due to
like
this.
3 weeks in that, man.
Yeah, it's been this week. I watched the Orlando Magic one with Penny and Shaq.
I didn't even know that was one.
Yeah, that one was fantastic.
I'm up
And
for this,
if
yeah.
you guys never got to see Penny play, dude, that guy was fucking phenomenal, man. Like, that's a dude that if he would have ever stayed healthy, his career would have been insane. But
Yeah.
and then I watched the Allen Iverson one.
That's a good one.
So yeah,
There's a lot
dude
of
lived
them.
a crazy life. There's a lot of good ones though, dude, and it's a lot
A
of
lot
like
of good ones.
the
a
Len
lot of
Bias
good
one. I
ones.
watched. I think I watched that one.
They're all
as
good,
well,
I think.
so
I haven't watched one that I would like turn off.
it's just
There
cool.
was,
Like just
there was a couple really early when they started doing them that were very obscure and I just couldn't get into.
I wouldn't say I would
I'll
turn
have to
them
go
off.
back
Though.
and look. Any ones other than those that jump out at you, Matt, that you have to you got to go watch? And where are you watching these anyway? Are you watching them on ESPN.com or
ESPN,
what?
ESPN Plus. You get
Okay.
you get access to the entire library through that. So
Oh shoot!
you can sort through like based on sport, based on category, blah blah blah. So it's just I don't know, sort through them all. It's perfect.
Matt,
like
have you
the
ever
one,
watched the oh my god, I've only read like 5 books that didn't have
Ever?
to do with school. But it was the kid that went to Boston College and had the drug problem and ended up at Fresno State.
Oh yeah, Chris Heron.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
That's
one was very good too. Yeah, that one was really good. Yeah,
he actually just talked at LP this past year.
Yeah, I saw him.
He was a stud, dude. He was very good.
I've read his biography, like his autobiography, Basketball Junkie, and then I also read the book that kind of inspired the Fall River Dreams. That was about his high school team.
Yeah, it sounds like that city's kind of it's a tough place to grow up. To say the
City's
least.
a dump. Yeah.
I like the one the 30 for 30 was the best that never was.
That was
Marcus Dupree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was very good.
Yep.
That's
the Pony Express one was good too. The Southern Methodist one.
I think I'm going to go back and watch some of these.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I have ESPN Plus
without
too,
live
so
sports and things like that. It just gives you a little bit of that fix.
Love it.
Absolutely. Pigoy, what's the Pigoy family been watching all week?
Well, I went back and kind of like Zach that I started watching a show I've always loved to watch, and that's How I Met Your Mother. I went back and
show's overrated. Sorry.
Shut up.
I started watching that again, and it's just I can't stop watching it.
It's a good time to rewatch a show that you like.
Yes.
If you ever want to rewatch a show, might as well do it now.
Definitely. Coming back to
the ending of that series. The ending of that series did it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I felt like such a letdown. I love that show, and
so
then it was
weird.
The ending just killed it.
Well, they shot 2 different ones. Like you probably read about this, but they shot 2 different endings. Where the one ending was what it was, obviously, and the other ending was when Ted and Tracy are on the platform, and then the season just ends.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah, that's how it should have been.
I really wish that's how they would have done it.
Yeah. So, but it gets people talking about it, so they probably did it right, I guess. So
that's true.
I wasn't a fan of Seinfeld's end either, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was weird. That was very weird. Other than what we're watching, we're doing a lot of eating. So let's jump into our TCF Local Food Spotlight, brought to you by our sponsor, Lodi Tap House. Make sure you hit them up for any delicious meal you need this week. They have their location in Utah and Maple Park.
Smash burgers, curds,
beers, burgers.
Cannot go wrong. And if you're going to get from the Maple Park location, make sure you get a growler or crowler full of beer to go. And I know I'm going to be ordering. I got to pick a night because I got to try that elote burger. That just sounds absolutely.
That sounds bananas, doesn't it?
If you lift the picture up, and your mouth doesn't start watering, then you're just not a human being.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you there.
Yeah,
I'm going to start my shout out, and this is a little bit different. My shout out is to 2 local organizations, the Mendota Moose and the Mendota Elks Lodge. And I think this is kind of happening more where some of these lodges that have a grill or a restaurant attached to their organization, I think maybe they're just getting to a point where they have all this food in the freezer and they got to get rid of it. And they're trying to find creative ways to, empty their freezer and also make some money. I know here in Mendota, the Elks Lodge has done a couple nights. Their little kitchen night where you can call in and order some food. It's been delicious. and it's pretty cheap too. The Moose Lodge has done a taco night. Again, very cheap. We got all of our food. We actually got like 2 meals worth of stuff for $20. The Elks Lodge, both times we spent maybe $20 and each got a sandwich and an appetizer.
Boomy and I are both members of
and Pico,
Elks Lodge.
Yeah.
And sorry, Pico, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so shout out to especially the Mendota Elks, the Mendota Moose Lodge, but any of those organizations that are, just trying to, keep their businesses going. And, you don't even think about, you think obviously about like the restaurants and stuff like that are doing the carryouts, but you don't think about those places, or maybe there's some local VFWs that do food and stuff like that. Like, you don't think like maybe they have a bunch of excess inventory that they need to thin out a little bit before it goes bad. So shout out to the ones doing that, especially the Moose and the Elk Lodge here in Mendota.
Oh, love it. Mine is, I might have already said them, Luz Logrado's Pizza in Peru. I got it, I think it was Friday night. My dad went over there and picked it up. Delicious pizza. They have good. Boomy is a big fan of their deep dish pizza, which they are kind of like known for.
But I have to preface that, Zach, though, because when people hear the deep dish pizza, they think like, like the famous with the sauce on top, and that is not Logrado's. They do like a thick crust.
It's thick.
It's a little different.
But I'm not from anywhere. I'm not a big fan of the was it stuffed pizza?
Yeah.
I'm a thin crust. I'm a thin crust guy. But shout out to them. Dad said it was an easy pickup. Great pizza at a great price too.
And Zach, aren't they like going around like obviously they're located in Peru, but aren't they going around to like little tiny small towns with their?
They did Paw I think 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, I think they were in my wife's hometown, and they're just like loading up their pizza truck full, and they're pulling up to a location, and people can come and buy their pizzas, that normally wouldn't be able to get to Peru.
I love it. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think they're going to West Brooklyn or Compton next week.
But the ideas just flow. The ideas are just flowing right now.
It is crazy. You're very right. It's crazy the creativity that people are coming up with.
Sure.
Matt,
my shout out. I'm going to avoid food this week, and I'm going to go with a coffee, and I'm going to go with the little coffee shop here in town, in Elburn called the Corner Grind. Great little shop. Coffee's fantastic. They got everything. They got your hot drinks, your iced coffees, your espressos, lattes, all that stuff. They got smoothies, things like that for kids, slushies. They do apple cider in season from the local places here, or the orchards around here. It's really super nice people in there, and they're still grinding away. They do baked goods, sandwiches, things like that too. But their coffee's fantastic. I usually just get the regular coffee, black coffee with a little bit of cream. I used to take it to customers. The last job that I had, where I was kind of in front of people a lot. When I'd come in with the travel box of coffee that they would give, the customers were always thrilled about that, dude. So Great little shop, great people. Coffee's fantastic. Can't go wrong with that pick me up. And I think they're still open like into the very early afternoon, I believe. I don't have their hours handy, but so I think you can get that early afternoon little pick me up when you need it to.
And go hit like you said, Matt. Go hit a place like that up, because I drove by Starbucks today, and I'm not a coffee guy at all. There was no joke at the Starbucks in Peru, Illinois. There were 25 cars into the Kohl's parking lot. So go support.
That's my point. Starbucks will be fine. Keep places like the Corner Grind going, and Lodi, and some of these Luz Logrado, places like that, man, where it's just like these guys are just scraping, and just give them what you can, because they're the lifeblood of our communities.
Well, and hey, no one loves the guy more that brings in coffee from a local coffee shop to the office. Like if you're the guy that brings in the coffee for everybody, you're like,
it's coffee or booze. Coffee or booze, you win either way.
Both easy to do. Yeah, easy to support. There you go.
Yep. Absolutely. Pigoy, round us up on the TCF's food spotlight.
All right. I this might have already been mentioned, but we got this the other day. We got some China House, and it was outstanding.
Ooh.
It was.
Now they don't normally do like a menu. Do you just pick basically something that you like off of the buffet?
No, so their menu is on their Facebook page.
Oh,
So you just order we ordered a general chicken combo, which is the general's chicken. You get rice and an egg roll. So everything's already set for you. You have to just tell them what you want, because then you go up to the door, pick it up, and then leave, obviously. But yeah, China House in Mendota, just phenomenal Chinese food.
absolutely. Good choice. I got to ask you guys, if you're at a buffet, do you go rice? Do you go noodles? Do you go both? I'm a noodles guy. I don't mess with rice. It's too busy. I'm a noodles guy.
I like rice. I'm a big rice guy.
I go both.
You go combo.
I go combo because I love the noodles and I love the fried and white rice. I just love everything, so I go both.
Matt, how about yourself?
Well, I think buffets are going to be out here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So like,
Matt, don't
while
put
we
that
still
evil
have
on
them,
this.
That's
Stop.
quite true, though.
I'm a rice guy. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
respect your decisions, but I politely disagree.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
But here's my thought on on buffets though. Like, couldn't you just have the food out and then just have like a worker just serving it to you?
I don't
No.
want to go into a buffet.
Like,
No.
I'm not gonna lie.
I might never go back.
Give me a scoop of that. Give me one of them chickens on a stick. Give me a dumpling.
I'll get food from those places. I don't know that I could go buffet.
I don't know if
anymore,
it's
though.
gonna be
I
tough
just
to
don't
go
know
to the
that I
buffet.
can.
I'd tough it out.
You're
I would
always
too.
gonna look over and see that fucking guy.
Oh,
And you're like, do I really want to back clean up behind him? And
Do I trust this idiot?
And you're like,
Yeah.
no, but those goddamn
That's true.
rangoons look so
Yeah.
good. I might have to just
Yeah,
do it anyway.
those crab rangoons that have been sitting under that heat lamp for about 48 minutes. Let's get those bad boys on this little plate here.
Yeah.
I'm
Sir,
a
you want to cut around you real
crab
quick?
rangoon.
I am too, man. Those things are awesome.
Oh, I just house those things. Are ridiculous.
Especially if you have a little sweet and sour sauce left
Oh, yeah.
over. Dip those bad boys in that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm getting hungry. This is not
R.I.P.
good.
buffets.
Breaking my heart here.
China House.
All right,
Go get some China
fellas,
House.
let's jump into the TCF top 3 this week, and we are going with the best 3 in our minds, sitcom families we'd want to be a part of, families that might seem fun, whatever the case may be, the best sitcom families. Pico, do you have any idea who gets to go first this week?
Let's go, Matt.
Ooh. Well, if 1-1 is got to be the Bundy family with Married with Children with
Good
Al,
choice.
Peggy, Kelly, and Bud Bundy. You know, Al's obviously a football legend.
That he is.
Kelly's a smoke show. So
I'm glad you said it because I was about.
Yeah. Peggy's hilarious. Great TV mom. And then Bud's, just a dirtball. So
Good choice. Good
perfect
choice.
perfect TV family.
I'm gonna take probably the really obvious one here because disclaimer. I said before I got no idea what I'm doing here, so I'm gonna go with the Brady bunch, the Bradys.
Oh, that was on my list of the worst.
I don't know. I'm throwing darts I'm blindfolded throwing darts on this one.
Don't let anyone affect how you pick.
There's
Brady
too
bunch.
many people there.
Just because you have a louder voice than most doesn't mean you get to disagree.
But hey, like if there's too many people in the house and you can just like do your own thing and nobody's gonna bother you.
But somebody's always going to bother you.
Well, because they're on TV, so.
All right, who gets to go third?
You can go third.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with my favorite TV show of all time, and that's The Simpson Family.
I should not let you go third.
Because I took yours.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's the best show I've ever. I still watch it. We put it on every night when we go to bed. It's an easy one. Marge, the homemaker. Homer is a clown. It doesn't get any better. Simpsons all day, every day. Zach, you get 2 out of the first round.
I'm gonna go with the Taylors, from Home Improvement.
Damn it, that was my second.
I'm a big fan of Home Improvement.
That's a good
I'm trying
choice.
to think of what I would go with here. There's so many different ones that you would kind of go with. You hurt me with taking the Simpsons. That was my number 1.
I was worried
Nice.
about that getting past.
One and only. No. Oh, let's go with this. The Bankses.
Motherfucker.
The French
God
Prince
damn it.
Prince
of
of Bel-Air. That's a
LA.
great pick.
That was on my list too.
God,
It's
if
just
anybody
great
was going
pick.
there. God.
Yep. I love that show. Like I said, I kind of feel like I watched that show so much when I was little, not little, but younger, when I was like waiting for the school bus. It was usually on in the morning, so I just remember watching that show all the time.
God, you
Good
suck.
choice. I'm gonna go with.
It sucks when somebody takes your pick.
It does. That one stung, dude. I did not think you were going there at all.
Good choice, buddy. Second round pick. I am going to take. This is tough. I have a ton of shows. I watch way too much television. Family Matters. I'm gonna go with the Winslows. They got a great family. Carl Winslow is just one of the, obviously outside of Uncle Phil, Carl Winslow, if you go back and watch, Carl had some great words of wisdom, and you always got the Urkel kid around for the comedic relief. The grandma was low-key probably the funniest person on that show. But I was a big Family Matters fan growing up, so I'm going with the Winslows.
I'm going to go with the Tanner family going Full House.
I like
Not
that.
a bad
Good
choice.
pick. I was a fan of the show, but not a very big fan.
Yeah, the Nick at Night helped it a lot because it was on every night from like 8 to 10 for a very long time. Matt, you get two to round us around.
Well, I got one, and I don't know if it's going to qualify because I don't necessarily know if it's a sitcom because it's not a comedy.
There's no rules.
It's also the Taylor family as well, but this is a different Taylor family than the Home Improvements. This is Coach Taylor, Friday Night Lights.
No, that works. That works.
We'll give you that.
No, it's
So
great. I'm looking at top sitcoms, or top. I guess that's families, but still, that should work.
I've actually never seen that show.
Oh my god, that show's outstanding.
It's on my Amazon Watch.
Perfect TV mom. Mrs. Taylor's outstanding. She's a teacher, pillar of the community. You got the football coach. Everything is perfect. Or actually, I think she's a guidance counselor. Now that I think about it, but I don't know. Perfect family in Texas. Got the daughter. The perfect house. I don't know. I'd live in that house. It'd be sweet.
That would be fun.
And who's your third round?
This one's hard. I'm gonna go with the Foremans, and that's 70s show. Red Foreman, put a foot up your ass.
That's a great.
You got the slutty sister. You got Erica. You could pick on. Bunch of friends that are around that
that's
are funny.
Good pick.
A great
the mom's a drunk, so that's hilarious.
Kitty Foreman.
Kitty Foreman could hang with the best of them in a late night drinking session. So
Red Foreman's just gonna coach your ass up so hard.
Yeah, Red Foreman will have you running through a wall before the end of the day, talking about his World War II era.
Get me under that guy's tutelage. I'll be.
Yeah.
Like I think my most memorable line from that show was like, "No, the best gift the son give his dad is a Heisman Trophy."
yeah.
Pigoy.
I'm gonna go with. I think it's kind of a weaker late pick. But I'm gonna go with Family Guy.
Yeah.
Okay. The Griffins. It's not a bad pick.
The show always hits. It's always.
And it's on all the time. It's easy to see why we spent a lot of time in our youth watching that show.
Right.
Great show.
I've got a couple here. I went way too deep in this. And I was gonna take the Matthews family, but I'm going off a recency bias because I'm watching Boy Meets World right now. I'm gonna go with the Barones. Everybody Loves Raymond, one of my all-time favorite shows. Just a good quality. Ray Barone is hilarious, but I think the brother Robert and the dad, unfortunately, I think he passed away a couple years ago. He was in Young Frankenstein.
That's a show I could never get into.
Really? Oh, I've seen every episode.
Yeah, I never got into it either.
Ray Romano's kind of dry humor. It's just kind of hard to get into on that show.
It was one of those shows my mom watched when I was growing up, so if it's on now, I'll turn it on and watch it for a couple hours.
So I got the last pick then?
Yep.
I'm going to take the Heffernans from King of Queens. King of Queens, right? Yeah, King and Queen. So what is it? It's Carrie, Doug, and then it's Jerry, right? His name's Jerry on the show.
No, it's Arthur.
Yeah, because Jerry is his real name, Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, I love that show. I'm a big fan of that show. So the Heffernans.
Good choice. I have two that I want to throw out, and these might have been. I just want to know if you guys have seen these shows or remember these shows, because they were on my list, and they are definitely some of my, I decided not to go with, but were in very formative years of my life. Grounded for Life, the Finnerties, if anybody remembers that show.
Oh yeah, yes,
that was a good one. Yep. Yes, Dear was a good.
What about the Dunphys from Modern Family? Dude. Phil Dunphy.
Never seen Modern Family.
Legendary dad right there.
I like that show. It's a good show.
And then the other one I had down was 8 Simple Rules to Dating My Teenage Daughter with John Ritter and Kaylee Suko. And I think it was...
you should just say ABC Family.
Yes. I was a big ABC Family guy, but those two...
I was too. I just say that's all the... Yes, Dear was on there too.
Yep.
I mean, going this way, like, what about like Disney, like Even Stevens? No.
Yeah.
I want to give a nod back to my youth too with the Drummond / Jackson family with Arnold Jackson, Willis Jackson,
Strokes.
Mr. Drummond, and Kimberly Drummond.
What you talking about, Willie?
Different Strokes. What a show! What an absolute banger of a show.
Except for the episode where they went into like, remember when the guy at the bike shop like touched the friend?
Yeah. Like, let's just stick to the episodes where Arnold got rabies and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, he got bit by a raccoon or something. Yeah. Like the weird pedophile episode, that was uncomfortable. But other than that, that's a great show. Any others, boys, that we forgot to mention?
Not that I can think of.
We'll start preparing now because next week will be the bottom 3 of sitcom families that we would never want to live with. So maybe I'll
sneak peek of your list already.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta feel like Pat Beals is gonna be a little pissed that we're not gonna throw out one like a Cunningham's or something, or the Cleavers.
I've never seen those shows. I know what you're talking about.
Yesteryear, so we'll throw an honorable mention out for Pat. You know, he's always looking.
You know what? So. In the comments, leave your top 3.
Yeah, Pat, give us your top 3 in the comments.
Because like it shows that you're thinking of like that we used to watch on like TV Land. Like
I gotta feel like Archie Bunker or something like that's gonna be in his, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, episode 70 of Typical Chicago Fans, our Joe Madden episode. Before we get going, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thanks for everything.
I didn't cuss. I don't even think I cussed at all this episode.
I did. Sorry, Mrs. Lilia, my bad.
No, she doesn't really care if anyone else does, just me.
All of the TCF moms, especially, and all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day.
And your wife. And our wives, Maggie. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. All my grandmas, RIP. Sisters, all that. Yep.
The mothers that put up with our dumb asses.
Yes. Thanks for keeping up with us.
Absolutely. From me at BoomyTCF, I feel like I forgot to tell everybody your guys' Twitter at the beginning of the episode, so I sincerely apologize.
Yeah, no biggie, dude. No, I know you want all the follows.
Don't let me build my following or anything.
Yeah, no biggie.
Sorry. I will make sure. It is Matt Schoolfield at schools_01. Make sure
I have like 100 followers. Can we boost that up a little bit?
Yes,
give me a little push here, Boomy. Jesus.
Yeah, Matt, you need to get more into the Russian sex bot game. All right.
Yeah,
You're lacking
all those like.
Can I copy your search
like,
history, please?
Just start doing all that.
Yeah, exactly. Pigoy at TCF Pigoy and Zach at ZLilia TCF. Like I said, I am at Boomy TCF. Make sure you follow the Twitter main page at typical_Chicago. Please, we have a very limited number of TCF t-shirts. We are looking to start a new line, get a new line out there. I believe we have a couple and an extra large. Just shoot us a DM for a t-shirt. We'll get you taken care of. I've got 4 heading out in the mail this week. So get at us and we will get our new line of shirts. We're going to meet with producer Joe to get those put at least into production, hopefully within the next week. So let us know if you're interested would like a medium or an extra large shirt.
TCF face covers. We should look into that.
Oh,
there we go.
I like the way you're thinking, man. Thinking ahead of the game, buddy. Special thank you to our sponsor, Lodi Tap House in Utica and Maple Park. Make sure you hit them up on both of their Facebook pages. Get yourself at the Utica location a fully elote burger like I'm going to do this week. If you go to the Maple Park location, get yourself a growler or a crowler full of any beer you want. Help them out. Help yourself out. Help, get them taste buds under control because you can't go wrong. Whatever you're feeling. Yes, get some cheese curds. Whatever you order, if you get any burger, whatever you're ordering, just throw in an order of cheese curds. You're going to do yourself a favor. Shout out to them, Lodi Tap House in Utica and Maple Park. Make sure you head to Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review there, and follow us on Spotify. And make sure to follow or subscribe, actually, to the YouTube page. Go there, type in Typical Chicago Fans, and all of our social media. From me, Boomy, and all of the boys here at TCF, thank you for joining us. We are signing out Saturday, May 9th. Again, happy Mother's Day, and we love you all.
Mother's Day.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.